Police are widening their search for suspects in the deadly beating of a young Temple graduate. The 23-year-old was killed on the steps of an historic landmark.
It was 2:30 Saturday morning when the beating occurred.
3 of the 4 males in this vehicle got out and viciously and unprovoked brutally attacked him.
The horrific beating death of 23-year-old Kevin Kless.
The 3 suspects got out of a car here and beat the young man to death.
Kless was rushed to Thomas Jefferson University Hospital, where he died Saturday night.
Unfortunately, we live in a world where violence is glorified and entertainment's where our outlook on crime is distorted by, which results in innocent victims silenced and forced to die, causing friends and families to be astonished and mortified. Cause nowadays people prefer to be criminal, seeking confrontation and taking it further than physical, without a logical reason or purpose defensible. Cause there's only certain instances where murder's permissible, but through movies and music they make shotties and guns desirable. Rivalries undeniable, robberies are admirable. You beat him to the point where his body was unsurvivable, for reasons not condonable, not even justifiable. I try my best to be a good person in love in general, to not hold on to grudges and accept what's unpreventable, be understanding and not a malicious individual. Then they go with resentment, but some shit is unforgivable. You have no explanation or excuse to provide. You beat him 3 against 1, that's an illusion of pride. Now everybody dies eventually and loses their lives, but the time he met his death wasn't for you to decide, because you took away his fate as if his destinies were turnable, and broke his facial trace to where his flesh was indiscernible. Yet people make mistakes, but yours affected people's personal lives and situations, because death is irreversible. A misunderstanding is what inclined you to fight, unfairly stripped him of his dreams and was deprived of the right to raise a family of his own and have a child and a wife, or reach potentials cause you took him in the prime of his life. Your objective was to try to get your street cred and respect enhanced, but in reality your action just made you a lesser man. I guess in ethics class you must have missed some major lesson plans. People of your character should not receive a second chance. I wonder what you thought when you decided to get him. Were you thinking about his future when he cried for protection, or when your foot in the cement compressed the side of his head? And were you thinking about how many people's lives you're affecting? Now I would never wish harm upon the worst of my enemies, but for you I hope you suffer while you're serving your penalties. Hope your conscience eats away at you, disturbing your energy, and the guilt from your actions becomes a permanent memory. But incarceration won't make it even, just for the simple fact there's nothing you could ever do to make it for your selfish act. Cause you can never demonstrate the dreams he didn't yet pursue, and you can never replicate the things we'll never get to do. The sights will never get to see, the bites will never get to eat, the nights will never get to sleep, the heights will never get to reach, advice will never get to speak, the wife will never get to meet, and worst of all you took away the life he didn't yet complete. So even if Kevin's murder was never intended, you discontinued many connections and ended some friendships without any warning, because his death was never expected. So to his friends and his family you'll be forever indebted. I just hope he can learn from this and make better decisions, cause murdering the innocence, a sin is never forgiven, because you took away your future family, future daughter, future cousin, took away your future uncle, future father, future husband. I wish I could go inside your minds and reveal your thoughts. I wonder if you feel regret, I wonder if you feel remorse, I wonder if you're aware of all the damage you've done. But the damage ain't done, cause parents had to bury their son. Now we can start to point fingers in a cowardly fashion and blame the witnesses who saw it and allowed it to happen, but it won't change the inevitable. It's all that exploited, but it's just difficult because this could have all been avoided. I wish this was just a story, but when a rhyming is real, we rob and we steal for property and violently kill just for a thrill, where our ignorance and pride is revealed, but there's severity and pain that even time couldn't heal. I wish this was just a story, but when a rhyming is real, we rob and we steal for property and violently kill just for a thrill, where our ignorance and pride is revealed, but there's severity and pain that even time couldn't heal. Rest in peace.